The pyramids of ancient Egypt are considered one of the greatest engineering achievements in human history and are known as one of the seven wonders of the world. These colossal structures are one of the most enduring marks left by Egypt on the stage of history. Each of these pyramids, rising towards the sky, continues to amaze people today as they did when they were first built. However, many myths and misinformation have circulated about the construction process of the pyramids over the centuries. Some claim that these monumental structures were built by hundreds of thousands of slaves forced to work, while others believe that these works were constructed by extraterrestrial beings. However, none of these theories fully reflect the true story of the pyramids. The construction of the pyramids was carried out with the blood, sweat, and tears of approximately 20,000 workers, with meticulousness and extraordinary organization. Although the life of workers in ancient Egypt was extremely challenging by today's standards, these people were seen as an important part of society at the time and were respected. So who were these workers? What did they eat and drink? Under what conditions did they work? Let's take a journey to thousands of years ago, into the world of these people who lived and worked in the shadow of the pyramids. About 4,500 years ago, during the Old Kingdom period, you were living under the reign of Pharaoh Khufu in Egypt. Perhaps you were a peasant looking for work, and heard that labor was being recruited for the construction of the pyramid. All you needed was to be healthy and an adult. When you went to the city center to join this colossal project, you might have been asked which field you wanted to work in. You could choose one of three main jobs for participating in pyramid construction: quarry worker, transporter, or mason. Quarry workers were responsible for extracting and shaping the massive stone blocks, the fundamental material of the pyramid. Working with primitive tools, these workers would spend the day meticulously working on rocks, trying to shape each stone into a perfect form that could be used in the construction of the pyramid. This task was extremely physically demanding, tiring, and dangerous. These extracted stone blocks weighed about 2 tons and were later transported to the pyramid construction site by carriers. The carriers were responsible for transporting these massive stone blocks. This process was a highly difficult and careful task. The 2-ton stones would be placed on sleds and pulled by strong workers to the construction site. During this work, even the smallest mistake could cause the stone to topple over, leading to serious injuries. The carriers would work for hours under the scorching sun, dragging these stones to the area where the pyramid was to be constructed. Masons were the workers who carefully placed these massive blocks, extracted from quarries, and brought to the construction site, onto the pyramid. Their job was to place these stones at the correct angle and with perfect alignment, ensuring that the pyramid rose flawlessly. The masons worked with great care because they were responsible for maintaining the perfect geometric shape of the pyramid. The housing needs of the pyramid workers were met by the pharaoh. There was a workers' village called Heel-Gurp, specially built by the pharaoh, not far from the pyramids. Only pyramid workers and their families lived in this village. The village was organized in such a way that it could meet all the needs of the workers. The houses were designed to be simple, yet comfortable. Workers were allowed to stay in this village throughout the pyramid construction without having to pay any rent. Living in this village was a great advantage for the workers because they could stay with their families and live close to their work. The daily lives of the pyramid workers were highly disciplined. They would wake up at 6 in the morning, have a quick breakfast, and start work at 7. Their breakfast usually consisted of simple but nutritious foods like figs, dates, and bread. The morning shift lasted 4 hours, after which there was a break for lunch. Lunch was extremely important for workers to maintain their energy in this intense work rhythm. Lunch typically consisted of fresh fish caught from the Nile River. These fish were one of the staple food items for the Egyptian people and provided the workers with the necessary protein. After lunch, the workers would return to their work and continue until the shift ended at 7 in the evening. For dinner, they would usually have roasted beef or lamb, accompanied by vegetables and legumes. This diet provided the workers with the protein and energy needed to sustain their heavy physical labor. Pyramid workers worked 12 hours a day, but had 2 days off after every 8 days. These breaks allowed the workers to rest and spend time with their families. However, in some special cases, workers could take additional leave for valid reasons. Archaeological excavations in Egypt have uncovered ancient tablets, now on display at the British Museum, that record in detail the reasons why workers did not come to work on certain days. These tablets state that some workers did not go to work for reasons such as brewing beer, illness, or scorpion stings. Additionally, it was recorded that a worker did not come to work for personal reasons, such as his wife or daughter being in their menstrual period. These records show how much importance was given to the personal lives of workers and that they had social rights. However, pyramid workers not only had to face harsh working conditions, but also accidents. Research on their bones has shown that most of these workers had fractures, especially in their feet and arms. However, thanks to the health services provided by the pharaoh, these injuries were treated extremely well. Workers injured during pyramid construction would be treated for free by the pharaoh's private doctors, and efforts were made to heal them as quickly as possible. This treatment process was carried out with great care to ensure that the workers could return to their jobs as soon as possible. The advanced nature of health services provides important clues about the social structure of that period. Pyramid workers were not only privileged in terms of physical health, but also in terms of social status. The people of Egypt had great respect for these workers who built the pyramids. They were seen as the individuals who constructed the monumental structures that would sustain the afterlife of the pharaohs. Because they served this sacred purpose, pyramid workers were considered respected individuals fulfilling a holy duty in society. Additionally, these workers were exempt from taxes by the pharaoh, and their social status was distinct from others. Pyramid workers were not slaves. They had the freedom to leave the construction whenever they wished. However, since the conditions of life outside were extremely harsh, most workers preferred to work on the pyramid construction. These workers, whose average life expectancy was 35 years, not only worked hard during the pyramid construction, but also struggled with harsh conditions. However, these harsh living conditions did not shake their belief that they would be resurrected with the pharaoh after death. For many years, it was thought that the pyramids were built by slaves. However, archaeological discoveries over the past 40 years have disproven this theory. Those who built the pyramids were not slaves working under duress, but free and voluntary workers. These people took on a sacred duty for their pharaohs and considered it an honor to participate in these colossal projects due to their beliefs and social status. Although the names of the pyramid workers are not recorded in history books, their labor and efforts have been immortalized by these structures, which continue to inspire awe thousands of years later. These workers were not only involved in the construction of the pyramids, but also formed the cornerstone of Egypt's social and economic structure. They were the ones who worked to secure the pharaoh's afterlife, and at the same time, protected their own future and that of their families. For centuries, countless theories have been proposed about how the pyramids were built, but ultimately, these monumental structures rose as a result of human labor and determination. In conclusion, the pyramids of ancient Egypt are not only architectural marvels, but also symbols of human strength, perseverance, and sacrifice. They will remain structures that challenge the sky for centuries, continuing to live on with the untold stories of the workers who built them. The lives of these workers were filled with hardships, but the legacy they left behind is a success story that has marked human history and will endure forever. Today, when looking at these pyramids, we should not only see how the stones were stacked, but also remember the people behind those stones, their efforts, and their sacrifices. They were perhaps nameless heroes who remained in the shadow of history, but with the structures they built, they left an indelible mark on human history. The story of these workers who lived and worked in the shadow of the pyramids is not only an engineering marvel, but also a testament to human perseverance and resilience.